All right, everybody, it's Dodgy Yeti and Chris Jones. Q will be joining us shortly, and this is the Thicc Boi Hours podcast. And my hair is looking wild. So, but what's new with you, Chris? What's going on?
Well, since we had the technical issues last show, they didn't get to hear us talk about. I had reviewed Final Fantasy Tactics on Xbox Series X. Um, after the podcast, I worked on I converted. I had a review for an early impressions piece. I had a review for early access to a game called Lost Eidolons: Veil of the Witch. It's a rogue-like tactical strategy based game, which I reviewed the first game in the series a few years ago called Lost Eidolons, but converted the early access review to an actual full review, which is my most recent article. Worked on that, played that a little bit, and I also had early access to the Steam Fest demo for Demio X Dungeons and Dragons Battle Marked, which is I know people have heard me talk about Demio and stuff on social media before, but it's a tabletop dungeon crawling style game that uses aspects of Demio, which is favorite VR game of all time, definitely in my top 100 favorite video games, and it's obviously based on D&D stuff. It takes place in Forgotten Realms campaign setting. The Steam early access demo as of yesterday, I've not checked today. You had access to like 5 different characters. You got there's a paladin, a fighter, a sorcerer, a ranger, and a rogue, and you get to experience a quick narrative through Neverwinter Woods. And then they have like I'd say it's a small dungeon. You get to experience one of these, at least one floor. I don't know if it has more floors, but I'd say it's probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes for this dungeon. And multiplayer is accessible, so pretty cool free game on Steam. So if anybody wants to try that, you can go check it out. And we did had a video come out for that, and hopefully we'll be doing something with the developer next month before the game comes out on November 20th. So how have you been, sir? What have you been playing?
Well, those are two different questions for me right now. Gotten last weekend, got in a car accident. A deer
Oh
was
damn!
a deer was suicidal, so totaled out. Me and my girl were on our way home from D&D last Sunday morning, and a deer just ran right out of the cornfields right in front. Said, "Hey, what's up?" And then it was over from there. But so that's our new stuff. But everybody's fine. Everything's good. Um, Digimon is what I'm playing. I My God, did they outdo anything Pokemon done in the past decade? But at the same
Which
time,
Digimon game is it? Which Digimon?
Time Strangers, it's so good, and uh, I don't know. I can't remember the last time that I've uh like played a game and been so obsessed with the game, especially like even a Pokemon game, as much as I am with Digimon Time Stranger. Like last night, I got to the agent rank where now I have Alphamon and uh, Guilemon, Wargreymon, stuff like that. I'm definitely not the fastest, but I also didn't know that the demo carried over your progress, which a lot of people just over leveled their mons in the demo and then got to rock right from there, which
It
Want to know
actually
about?
has pretty good review scores too. I'm looking at looking at the user-based review scores. User score is after 381 user ratings is 9.4 out of 10, which is amazing on Metacritic. The meta scores, that's always subject to interpretation because that's some media, some people are biased, some aren't, and that's
If it,
74 or whatever.
I was gonna say if it's low, it's wrong. If it's high, it's right. It's good. It is very good, and I can't I can't glaze it enough. I think there's like it has its drawbacks. Like last night, I had to go through a bunch of like stupid like missions that were just tedious for no reason. But I got like three of them out of the entirety of the game so far that I can point to and be like, that was dumb. Why'd I have to do that? And I don't know. It feels good. It feels nice. I've always personally been like somebody who preferred Digimon to Pokemon whenever I was younger, anyways.
That's shocking. I would have not thought that. I've not played personally. I've not played a uh, actual Digimon video game since like Digimon World on PlayStation or whatever the case, whatever it was back then.
Yeah. Now, like, I feel like Digimon games were so like overly convoluted back in the day, but this one has the right amount of like complexity to it and simplicity where it's
Okay.
if you if you want to play it and you want to get into it, you can, and there's going to be no issues for it. But I don't know, like some of them before this one, I felt as if like I didn't have it, like the game wasn't showing me how to do things. And like there's certain things with this now, and maybe it's just because we can get anything at our tips, the tips of our fingers. Like we can figure anything out. But like I'm not having nearly as hard of a time with this one as I was with any other Digimon game, and I can't I can't wait. I'm hoping to get to agent rank 8 tomorrow so I can get Gallantmon Crimson mode and a few others because your boy your boy is going to be playing the hell out of it tomorrow. That's for sure.
You with you with that the way you talk about not being able to uh, have the games that would explain stuff. That's kind of like there's a game called Myst. I don't know if you ever heard of it. However, I know Jordan has heard of Myst because he's older than me, and that's a game that came out
Jordan,
when
if you're watching this, you're a young spry chicken.
I know Jordan played Myst probably. What console did it come out on first? I know it was on Sega Saturn. It was like around that era. I can't remember exactly what console Myst came out on first, but like I've even recently went back and tried to like play it. I still don't understand what the hell is going on in this game. And you also reminded me, I was sitting there thinking, I also need to mention about that Dungeons and Dragons game is it's a DM-less game too. Like there's a narrative story, which if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, nobody really likes to be the DM. Like there's very few people I have met in my 36 years of existence that actually enjoy being the dungeon master over the player character. There's a few. However, party of four, you get to experience a story, you can do stuff. There's I'll call them like mini events that can pop out of certain situations. Like the I don't want to spoil too much in case people want to go out and play it, but like you go to this first dungeons, like okay, this myconoid's like something. Why are you here? You get like a chance to like try to intimidate it or persuade it to let you go into this dungeon or whatever. If not, you fight it. You get to see these random cool. Obviously, the monsters. Every character's like really crafted very finely. Like you could tell how meticulous the developers are when they put uh, the time into making these characters look as close as what you would expect from D&D. Like the monsters have like same weaknesses. Trolls regenerate health. There's a troll. You'll fight a troll at some point. I ran into a mimic. Um, like random mini events might pop up. Like, oh, there's this mushroom. Do you want to try to use your knowledge to figure out what it is? Do you just want to eat it or
Eat the
do
mimic.
nothing?
Eat the
Oh,
mimic.
well, you don't get to eat the mimic, but the mushroom thing, and like you can
No.
get a buff, you can get a debuff.
I know you were
Something else
saying
I
eat the mushroom. I want to eat the
yeah,
mimic. I want to see what a mimic. I want to know what mimic tastes like.
I'm curious, but I would have no idea what it tastes like unless you ate the tongue.
No, they actually
That's
have a.
probably
They actually have like a physical form. You just never see them in it. From what
I'm gonna
I, this came up in like a video that I was watching this week. Is that evidently they have a real body. It just kind of looks like speckly gray, kind of like you look at concrete and like you can see kind of like the speckles. Evidently, that's kind of like what their real bodies like at least like color wise and everything. But then they turn into whatever they are.
yeah. I also started speed running practice for Suikoden 2. Um, even if you've played a game 1,000 times, when you are learning to speed run something, it's a completely different experience. Um, the category I'm currently practicing because I don't have a turbo controller is any percent. I'm just trying to complete the game as fast as possible, not recruiting all the characters. And it's when the people that have played the with turbo controllers, I think the record it's like five. It's like 5 hours. It's around 5 hours and 30 minutes for the game. And
Which
I'm
Suikoden
playing
is
with
this?
Coach
Five?
Suikoden 2.
Suikoden 2?
Yeah, I'm doing the remasters, but I made it 2 hours and 10 minutes into the game, and at the point I stopped at just because I'm just practicing. I'm not trying to get the world record or anything right now. But at the current time I was at, I messaged the guy I got the notes from. He's like, I'm gonna be honest, that's not bad for someone that's never speed ran the game before and stuff like that. I think I'm like 30 or 40 minutes behind the world record for the people that do have turbo controllers. And the difference for everybody that doesn't know is when you play a video game with a turbo controller, you can just hold in the X button, the A button, or whatever the case may be, and it goes to the dialogue options. Whereas usually when you're playing a video game, you got to click the action button to keep the text box going, which is what I have to do because I don't have a turbo controller.
What was your
So I don't know
time
how
again?
I had stopped at 2 hours and 10 minutes in a certain area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was 9 months ago the record got set for we get into speed run any percent, and it's 5 hours and 40 minutes and 15 seconds with a turbo controller. The best one without a turbo controller is 5 hours 43 minutes and 42 seconds.
Where are you looking at?
Speedrun.com.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you're looking at the same one.
There's one that's a
Are you
save
looking at Suikoden
corruption.
2? Are you looking at the 1 and 2 HD remaster?
Just regular Suikoden 2.
All
Are
right.
you doing the HD
Then
remastered?
yeah, that's the one I'm doing.
Uh, that makes sense.
Still fairly new. People are still learning. Like Suikoden 2, any percent with a. There's multiple difficulties and stuff. I'm also playing on hard, so
Okay.
5 hours 26 minutes for any percent on hard with turbo, and the best ending, which is recruiting everybody, is 6 hours and 44 minutes. Your boy ain't got that type of patience to. Well, technically, I could. If you want to play Suikoden 3, that's like fucking 14 hours of recruiting everybody, and it's a lot of text, like a lot of dialogue. But before I forget something else, I want to say to everybody that doesn't know, today it's Dodgy Yeti's birthday, so happy birthday, Tyler Skaggs.
What's up? Thank you. You were the
I
second
assume.
person to wish me happy birthday.
Well, I actually told you in the team chat last night at like 12, like this morning, like 12:03 a.m. Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
yeah, yeah. You were the
Okay.
second person. The one that beat you to it is was the person that was on the couch with me, my girlfriend. So
Damn it!
yeah.
I should have paid closer attention.
Hey, there's always next year, brother. But yep, no,
So you want to
I'm
jump to the
old as
topic then?
shit. What's that?
I said so. You want to get into the topics then, birthday boy?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna I'm gonna hold a bunch of my ranting about Digimon back and Pokemon
If you want to
because
talk about, you want to talk about, I have a Pokemon topic that I'm gonna do last in case Q joins. So just like last time, I'm trying to hold off certain topics. There's
well,
something I want to talk about first. Is a guy named uh, Tomonobu Itagaki. Do you know who this guy is?
Tomonobo Ikigaki.
Who?
Oh,
Tomonobu Itagaki.
okay. Um, I looked up his name, but I just wanted to see his face. He's the dude that did like Ninja Gaiden and shit, right?
Yeah, he's responsible for Dead or Alive, if you remember those games, and the Ninja Gaiden reboot at least. I don't know about the old Ninja Gaidens or not.
Okay. Uh, he's got Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword from 2008 under his belt. Ninja Gaiden Black from 1988. So yeah, seems like he's got a few Ninja Gaidens under his belt. But
But he recently passed away, so I figured we should talk about something of this. Have you played? Are you familiar with any of the Dead or Alive games or the Ninja Gaiden games? What are your thoughts on those particular series to start?
Ninja Gaiden always looked so fun, but whenever I was very young trying to play it, I couldn't fucking get really anywhere in it. I would always get my ass beat right from the jump. So it's cool. I think it's great, but hard as shit, and I never went back. The Dead or Alive, no, I never really played Dead or Alive. Um, it always looked kind of cool, but it never interested me enough to try and get a hold of. Like there's always
I don't
something
I don't remember
else.
a lot of Dead or Alive, and I don't know if he's responsible for this one, but I did play. Do you remember Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball?
I I do. It
A young
very
Chris knew all about
unnecessary.
them. A young Chris knew all about them jiggle physics.
Yeah, yeah. I did not ever actually play it. It wasn't until like I started, watching videos on YouTube and like lists and stuff. Like I seen that and I was like, "What the fuck was that? Why? Why they do that?" But
As for Ninja Gaiden, I'm sure I did because I played of can't remember what console, but I remember playing games like Tenchu Z, and I'm sure I played Ninja Gaiden. I don't remember which one, but it always sucks when you lose uh, a great mind, or some people might say creative genius like Tomanubo, but the same thing happened not too long ago with everybody's gonna be mad at me for this. The hell is that guy's name? The Dragon Ball Z guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
We lost the creator of Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know his name either, but you know what? I'm not one that remembers a lot of that. Uh, Akira Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, it's Toriyama. Yes, that's who it was. We lost him.
I don't
And then
remember people who have made stuff all that much. I remember like their creation. I'm the
I
same way with like
remember
music.
a few. Only a few people can I remember their names. And like, there's a game I talked about for. I know you probably were one of the people who probably got annoyed. I talked about this game series called Ayuden Chronicles: 100 Heroes for like 4 years while it was in development, and they came out monthly updates. Um, Yoshitaka Murayama was another person that passed away, but he passed away literally like right before the game came out, and it was right after all of his stuff. Like he was the big boss, so obviously not all of his work was done, but like all of his work in the game was complete, and then he ended up passing away. Nobody knew on I'm assuming like within like maybe family or whatever, nobody knew that he was sick or whatever he ended up passing away from. But it always sucks to lose important people to the gaming industry, whether it's Murayama, Toriyama, or Tomonobu, because once we lose all these creative geniuses that have put games out over the years, like games or anime or whatever the case may be, then it's are the new generation of people ready to, take that mantle, be those creative geniuses and stuff like that, because there was a time period in the Boruto series, and I know a lot of people don't like Boruto as much as Naruto, but there's a time in the Boruto series where I gotta look up his name. I'm gonna get the names wrong. Um,
No,
I like to be correct, so
so it felt like you were going off on a tangent there.
I'm not gonna go off on a tangent. What is the writer's name? Okay, so there was a time period where there was a. All right, so Ukyo Kodachi was initially the Boruto writer for like the first 13 volumes. He is not the writer for Naruto or anything like that, but he was the initially Masashi Kishimoto, which is the one everybody knows for Naruto and stuff, had kind of, laid out this foundation with the Naruto series and like this is the next generation. And then he kind of, I don't want to say like handed it off to somebody else, but he let somebody else step up. And Ukyo Kadachi wrote like the first 13 volumes. Then Masashi Kishimoto took back over November of 2020 as the primary writer and supervising the series. And now we have Mikio Ikimoto, which hasn't really had any issues, but the case may be. But that leads to like, and obviously not everybody's the same, but you look at something so popular as like the Naruto franchise, and then Ikio Kodachi, whatever the case may be, what happened behind the scenes, it being taken back over by, Masashi Kishimoto. It's like, well, you think about your favorite video game series, like if it's a series like Final Fantasy, like, there's a new fucking game that comes out all the time, new installments, and that's your favorite series. Eventually, those people are going to retire or move on to greener pastures or whatever the case may be. So like it's like can the next generation kind of step up and take that mantle? So like just think your favorite franchise, Skags. I don't know what it is. I don't think we've ever discussed this. But your
It,
favorite franchise,
I'll never get a
the
sequel.
guy the guy that makes it passes it off to somebody else for that sequel that you'll never get. To be fair, I never thought I'd get another Suikoden game, and we got remasters, an anime, a stage play, and Starleap coming out at some point. So, someone passes your favorite video game off to the next person. Do you feel confident in the next generation of creative minds out there in the video game world or anime world to carry on the legacy of some of our favorite IPs?
Um, when it comes to anime, yeah, but when it comes to games, no, not really. Uh, game wise, my favorite franchise is fucking Fable, and you already
We are
know.
getting another Fable.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we are.
No, no, we're not. I refuse to actually believe that that thing's gonna come out.
Oh, okay. So you're on that train where you don't believe it's actually going to come out.
No,
Okay.
no, and they're shutting down studios, firing people, and everything. And this is exactly what's happened 3 other times, and gotten a Fable canceled, and then it's been revived, and then it's been canceled, and then it's switched to a different
To be
one.
fair, Fable, what was it called? I remember playing the fucking was it Fable Legends or some shit like that.
Yeah, Fable
I
Legends.
remember I remember that game and then Lionhead Studios getting shut down. But sometimes mismanagement, like don't get me wrong, I completely agree. Too many studios being shut down and stuff like that. It doesn't look good, but we have people like Platinum Games is a prime example. Do you ever remember the rumored game? Well, it wasn't rumored, it was announced, but do you remember the game Scalebound that never came out?
Yeah, pissed about that because Scalebound looks
Well,
so fucking
it
good.
did. Well, that was completely the studio's fault because they got a whole bunch of money ahead of time to make that game, and they used the money from that game to develop a different game they were working on that went to PlayStation. That is why that deal did not work out. So they kind of okey doked Xbox for a minute. So that's why
Oh,
that didn't happen.
I didn't
And
know
then
about that. That's
yeah,
bad.
yeah, Lionhead Studios. I'm not quite sure about. It was it could have been linked to the development of Fable Legends internally and not meeting certain goals or whatever. But however, I completely agree with you. Too many studios and shutting down stuff all the time. I'm surprised I didn't know Fable was your favorite game.
Not a whole lot of people do. I've played uh I've played all the Fables at least 3 times, and I've played 2 and 3 probably like 5 or 6 times a piece. Like it I I found the game. I found Fable with Fable 2, and then I played it a few times, and then Fable 3 came out, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. Well, actually, Fable
That's
3 was already out. I found Fable 2 in like a bargain bin, is what it was. And I remembered seeing like preview, like uh, the previews and the ads where like in Fable 3, the dude was just going around kicking chickens the whole time. And because he was kicking all the chickens, he got this like badass sword. And I was like, oh, that's that game? Okay, cool. That's a sequel to the game I'm loving. I was like, I'm gonna uh go get one. Went, got a copy of it. I actually walked around kicking chickens so much because I didn't realize that it was like a pre-order thing. And the gun was a pre-order, so or the sword was a pre-order, so I never got the cool sword, but I kicked a lot of chickens.
I actually didn't see any like commercials or any advertisements. I don't remember what was going on that particular time that I wasn't paying enough attention because I'm sure it was announced and people were talking about it. But shout out to one of my old roommates. His name David Carter. Call him Dad. Uh, Shout out to good old Dave because when I lived at Dave's apartment, Dave had introduced me to Fable and a few other games, and that's how I discovered it. And I don't even think I played the first one first. I'm pretty sure I played. I have that habit sometimes, like I'll discover a later game in a series, and then I will go back and play the original. And that's kind of what happened. I enjoyed Fable 2. I was a chicken kicker as well, so I do
Kicking
not fault
chickens is
anybody for
fun,
Fable
man.
being their favorite series.
Yeah. No,
So
that was awesome. And then I got Fable 1 whenever I was like the remastered edition whenever I was traveling around everywhere for work, and I got it for my laptop, so I played that everywhere that I went, finished it out, and I don't know, I just all right, here's my broken heart speech. I just don't think that I will ever get a Fable game because the my favorite I think the best shot that they had for Fable is this one. Honestly, it's Playground Studios that's doing it, which is the Forza people. But at the same time, I don't know if Forza's going the people who make Forza Horizons are going to be able to make a game, make a Fable game that is keeps kind of like the same soul as the original or 1 through 3 or whatever you want to say. But I don't think that they're. I think this is its last shot. If it doesn't do it, then I'm absolutely never getting one. And I wonder. One of my concerns with this one is I wonder if they're going to start removing like choice as being such a big thing because it sounds like you had from all the trailers that I've seen. It sounds like you are stuck as playing as like that female that's in there, and you always have the choice as male or female up front. So if they're removing that small choice, I wonder if choice is actually going to be that big of a thing in their version of Fable. Just one of my thoughts, and maybe I'm just being a doomsayer with it, but I don't trust at all.
maybe I should dive into any Fable updates, see what I can scrounge together for an article or something, see what I can find out. I will say one thing I'm confident in playground games is how amazing that the Forza games look. Like
Oh
we
yeah,
talked about this last. We talked,
I
go
have
ahead.
no reservations that it's going to look beautiful.
We talked about this last show about the Japanese scenery or whatever, but there was when they announced Forza Horizon 5, there was a picture and it was like Australian sand area, like sand dunes. And I mentioned this to you last show how they show this clip and it stops right there. And then I told you like the clip goes down in its actual gameplay still, and the still goes down into the actual race. And that was actual in game stuff. Looked amazing. So we talked about they didn't get to see this because this is when we had technical issues, but we talked about the Tokyo Game Show. And one of the things we were both looking forward to is seeing Forza Horizon in Japan in Tokyo. We talked about how the image it showed was in front of a mountain, whether it's Mount Fuji, Fukushaki.
Fukujima.
Yes, and just talked about how I thought that that is a still game image and that might zoom out and actually be a race. So one thing I'm confident is that if Fable comes to fruition, which My personal belief is I believe it will. I think it will look amazing. However, I do understand people's reservations about certain things. There's a lot of fucking things that Xbox owns these days, or Microsoft, or however you want to incorporate that. So initially, I'm pretty sure the rumor was 2025 release. However, with all the acquisitions of Activision Blizzard King and all the other stuff coming out, Call of Duty every November, trying to drop certain games in here and there. I'm not surprised it got pushed back to 2026. We should be getting a show soon. What they usually do is they have a show and it shows like the first half of the next year or some shit like that. And then when they do the second show that for that year, it'll be like the second half of stuff. So there should be something sometime soon, and hopefully this Fable coming out is everything that Dodgy Yeti Tyler Skaggs wants.
I would love it and be a great birthday present. But I don't like I said, I'm just kind of a doomsayer with it at this point, just because it's failed so many times
It took
that
20 years to get anything fresh with Suikoden, so
yeah. Which I mean, there's always the chance that like even if this one fails, that the next one won't. But I don't know if Microsoft will really after this if this one fails, to not be so pessimistic, uh are they really going to see any point in retrying it again, trying to find another studio that will actually go through and do what they want for the franchise? Because at that point, oh my god, they have put so much money, time, and effort into the game that is not coming out. I don't know. I can't see it.
to be fair, I guess if you want to look at it like that, um, one of my favorite video game franchises, and one of the games in that franchise is in my top five. If you lump all the Suikoden games into the top number one spot, otherwise it might be like fifth or sixth. Is Halo 3, one of my all-time favorite games for many different reasons. You talked about, can playground games capture the uh, the essence, so to speak? I guess is a good word. The essence of what original trilogy of Fable was. Bungie stopped making Halo and went on to make Destiny, and they turned um, Halo over 343. And some people liked Halo 4. Like there were some aspects that was good. I think the story was good. The multiplayer wasn't good for some people. And then Halo 5, nobody liked the story because can't say nobody. A lot of people didn't like the story because you weren't Master Chief the whole story. You were Sergeant Locke, and the multiplayer was good. And then we went on to Halo Infinite, and there's a lot of issues. Halo Infinite, you had the Craig incident and uh, early,
Greg?
early parts of early parts of the game. You had where the brute looked like a beat up. I don't even know how to. It wasn't good. And then they ended up making a joke about it. They went on, released Halo Infinite. It didn't do nearly as good as what they wanted, and there was supposed to be like story. I don't want to say added on, but there was supposed to be extra story coming out for the game to tack on to the story that we got. We didn't get nothing. Granted, there were still regular updates of like different matchmaking stuff, like gaming events and stuff like that. But like Infinite was uh, in many people's eyes a flop. I don't think it was a flop, but a lot of people do. And Microsoft or Xbox still has did other stuff like they've had leadership changes at the studio, and now 343 is no longer 343. I think it's called like Halo Studios now or stuff like that. But they're still doing stuff. They're getting ready to come out with a remaster of the original game or something like that. And I don't know what they're working on for, Halo 7 or Infinite 2 or whatever's after that. But like, I don't know if Halo's like such a big name. Like obviously it's huge. It's what Xbox is known for a long time was Halo, but like in comparison to Fable, I don't know. I'd say Fable's a pretty big name as well. So like I mean if Infinite did what it did and they continue to work on it, I would have hope that they would, do stuff with Fable still, but it's a case of, we have to wait and see. We got to see. I'm gonna Google real quick and see if we can find anything out while we're talking about Fable. But it's a lot of people want to say that from the show me state. You got to show me something. So we'll see what happens when it comes out.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I I mean, it's just at that point now with this franchise is that I need to I do need to see something. I need them to show me something before I can believe that they're actually going to go through with it. Because like even the trailer looked great, but I don't I don't know. It it might come out whenever GTA 6 finally comes out. Which
We got
that's its own joke as well. You know what? I'm glad there's some people that can kind of feel my pain.
I think GTA 6 will come out before Fable though. I think Rockstar is I
Absolutely.
almost like cooking. I think Rockstar's scheming something behind the scenes, so
I don't think that I think if I think if Fable comes out before GTA 6, then that is fine. But that's because it's been one sole studio working on GTA 6 for so long that and what they haven't they pushed it back like 3 times now?
something like that. Another thing is Rockstar Studios is essentially just printing money because you got to think GTA Online with all the shark cards or whatever it gives you money in game and just games like that, like Fortnite, even though they're not the same genre of gaming, just stuff like that that has infinite print money value. It's you can kind of give it as much time as needed and then just wait for like the opportune moment and then release something like that. Whereas a game like Fable doesn't have anything like that. However, Microsoft Microsoft is, $1 trillion corporation. I know they got infinite bags of money laying around. However, they're a lot more stricter than Rockstar. So we just got to see what happens.
Yeah.
Next up on the agenda, sir, I was hoping Q was going to be here by now, but we gotta hit this one. I'll save the Pokemon thing for last. So, magic drama and survey drama. So recently, I got a magic survey in my email, and I get stuff like this periodically from Microsoft for survey for certain things, and Magic has sent me stuff like in the past. Can I talk about that? In the past, they sent me like a pack of cards, or whatever, to test out like eco-friendly wrapping and like to give feedback on how like protected the cards were, stuff like that. So I've got to do very, very minor things. However, I got sent a survey the other day, and I started to take this survey. And I've had these surveys in the past. It's just like, how many times in the last 12 months have you done this? How many times have you done this? How much product have you bought? Just very, very basic stuff. And then at some point in the survey, like I was only like it was like which of these card games have you played in the last 12 months? How often have you played? And then I got to like maybe 4 questions, and whatever I'd answer, it triggered a response of, "You're not the intended audience for this survey. Thank you for your time." And it kicked me out of the survey. And well, at some point in the survey, there's a question, and usually these surveys are like on a scale of like 1 to 5, with like 5 being very likely, 3 being neutral, 1 being less likely, whatever the case may be. There's a question that says, to what degree did negative influencer commentary impact your perceptions of Magic the Gathering Marvel Spider-Mans before the set released? And I don't get to see the whole question because I didn't make it this far in my survey, but there's like dot, dot, dot. So there's like a little more of that. So there's a question about negative feedback from the Magic the Gathering community. And like, this has been blowing up on everywhere. And I
Oh
have lots
yeah,
of,
I've seen it.
and I'm seeing this on all of my social media. So, a lot of Magic pros have mentioned this. They said what they said. So there's a guy that does, can't remember the exact, I think it's called like Weekly Magic. Every Wednesday or something on Twitch. This guy does weekly updates on Magic for whatever the case may be. Like if there's a banned restricted list, he'll have on the BNR team or whatever. New sets coming out, they might talk about a couple cards, stuff like that. Rules change, like just giving weekly Magic updates. His name is Blake Rasmussen. I'm sorry if I said his name wrong. I'm sure he's not watching our show, but he quote retweeted this. Well, he posted this image and said, "Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've weighed in on something on here. This is on Twitter, but since the influencer team reports up into me, let's talk about this question." And it's what I read to you. And Blake says, first off, we don't and won't punish creators for having negative opinions of a set, even very negative. We just don't do that. I'd like to thank our history of working with creators who have varying opinions on Magic, various sets, and Wizards of the Coast speaks to that. Second, while we always ask about creator influence, the focus on negative commentary is unusual and not great. We'll be talking about it internally. Magic creators are awesome and they mean so much to Magic. This question gave the opposite impression, and that sucks. As someone as some people have pointed out, the question doesn't even make a ton of sense since negative commentary can't really greatly improve perception unless you are really contrarian, which fair. So my guess is some error was made along the way, but he is looking into it. In short, it's not a good question, but in no way are the results of this particular question going to be used as a lever to attack creator or change our creator strategy. Surveys are taken holistically and your voices are heard loud and clear. And someone else had posted, thank you for, okay, so that thing I got, thank you for your participation. Unfortunately, you're not part of the current target group. That was the message I got. And Blake had also said they're discussing that one internally. So the Spider-Man set, while I will say there's a couple cool cards, there's one art that is kind of a callback to the card Unmask. That's kind of cool, and like there's a couple cool things there. But this set is not well received at all. Like it's terrible. They can't. A lot of LGSs can't get their tournaments, RCs, qualifiers, whatever the case may be. Can't get certain tournaments to fire. There was one like these kits are like $50, and I had seen like I'm on all social media almost, and I seen some shops only charging people $5 just to get people to show up to do these qualifiers and stuff like that that involve the Spider-Man set. And like I said, it's got some cool cards. I ordered 4 copies of Spider Sense, which is kind of cool. It's got a couple callback cards to, like I said, Unmask or whatever. It's got a similar art to one of the Spider-Man cards. Um, I don't particularly know. It could be just, the universes beyond. People are tired of it. I'm tired of a lot of the universes beyond stuff. I miss in-universe Magic sets. Some universes beyond stuff here and there is cool. Like it used to be, we'd get It was like 3 sets a year, and then you'd also have a core set. So technically four, but you get like 3 sets, a core set where you could print stuff to kind of like core stuff like lightning bolt, giant growth, big dragons, just basic stuff that they would throw a couple commander stuff in there, a couple cards that might answer problems in the format, and then it would have like two special sets like a Modern Masters or Modern Horizons, and then like a Commander set or something special in the second half of the year. And like that's cool if you want to do like Universes Beyond sets like that, where we could still have then Universes Beyond. Well, see now I'm fucking confused. If you can still have the in universe sets and then do a couple Universe Beyond stuff, maybe it'd get less hostile feedback. But like I watch a lot of Magic pros, LSV, Jim Davis, Reed Duke, and Draymond Gucci. Not pro people, Saffron Olive, MTG Goldfish. Like I listen to a lot of these people, and they they just a lot. I can't remember exactly who, but a lot of people weren't happy with the Spider-Man set. And like I know I seen a post so I was right about the Ninja Turtle stuff that I talked about last show. Like the unannounced Universe Beyond set is Ninja Turtles. Someone posted a picture of the basic lands from the Ninja Turtle set,
I love the
and
basic lands.
I don't. And someone asked Andre Mangucci, which is one of the nicest people you could meet, and they're like, "Are you going to be playing these or something like that?" And Andre Mangucci's like, "No, I play Magic." So I know a lot of people are. Some people are probably going to sour on Ninja Turtles. I don't know a lot of the cards. They've not spoiled a lot of stuff. There's some cool stuff. The Black Super Shredder card was pretty cool. Michelangelo, even though I can't remember if it was you or Q, said that he didn't fit green. Well, Michelangelo's green. So they got some cool stuff. So I'm interested in your thoughts on like just
No, we
that.
we we landed on Selesnya for Michelangelo.
Yeah, but originally someone said he wasn't green. I can't remember. It might have been Q.
No, it was me. I said I didn't think he was a soul green,
Okay. So what's
but
your thoughts on the whole Universe Beyond stuff, Spider-Man in general, and the funniness of this survey, negative content creator feedback, stopping people from potentially buying Spider-Man or whatever the case may be.
so all right. I'm gonna hit this in categories. We'll start with the that fucking survey. What the fuck? And it was the dude who came out about the question like from Watsy.
He's I will tell you what his job title is. Blake's job title is communications.
So of course he says he's not gonna have it. It looks like they're trying to find somebody to blame for the Spider-Man set not doing well. And for two, his response where it's like, I'd like to think our history would make it to where like show everybody that we wouldn't do that. This is the same company that for their 30th year anniversary special stupid little trash packs that they were selling for what $400 a
Al,
pack. It was it a
are you
thousand?
talking about? I'm pretty sure if you're talking about like the anniversary, like the fake cards, the proxies or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was $1,000.
a
I'll
thousand
look it up
dollars
real quick.
a
You keep
thousand
going.
dollars a fucking pack. They would not go to actual Magic creators to have them open up packs or give them free packs or anything like that. They went to every other type of media person like YouTuber. They
$999. $999.
Yeah, so $1,000. They went to every other type of uh like YouTuber or whatever uh that they could like
Yu-Gi-Oh
who
too.
who
A couple of Yugi tubers opened this product on their channel and was advertising for
Well,
it.
that's who I'm trying to talk about. It's like A and something. Well, they're my boys that I like for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Team
They
APA,
Yes, I think so. Team APA. Uh,
Paul and Alex and Alec.
oh yeah, it was them
Yep.
because they had to make a fucking video right after being like an apology video because
Ruxin did too. Ruxin was another Yu-Gi-Oh guy that had to do it too.
yeah. No, that you know how dumb that is? And you're telling us like look at our history. We definitely wouldn't. You definitely fucking will. Yeah, you will. You will stop giving people privileges that you already give privileges to if you go back and they see that they were like, I'm not excited about Spider-Man or the Ninja Turtles. Which, hey, if people aren't fucking excited for the Ninja Turtles at all, that's fine. I love the Ninja Turtles, and I already think it's kind of cool. One of the things is that you have a five-color Leonardo that can pair with any of his brothers. Like, he can partner with any of his brothers. I think that's cool, and I really like that. And they all actually kind of synergize together. So there's a good chance that your boy is gonna want to do something with that. But either way, the universe is beyond getting out of fucking hand. It's getting out of hand so bad. Like Final Fantasy, I understand that can very much work, and I enjoyed it. I There's so many cards in there I love. Warriors are like one of my favorite types. It's a top 3 type for me. But for everyone that works, I feel like you have one or two that don't. Like you got you got the Spider-Man one that doesn't work. Final Fantasy that works for me. You have Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles kind of works, but it's more on the not side to me. But then you have Lord of the Rings. You have Warhammer 40K. You have SpongeBob shit now. Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think lands right in the same spot as the Ninja Turtles. Concept can work for like the universe that Avatar: The Last Airbender is in, because I mean it's just Earth, water, fire, wind, like powers. Like that makes sense in math, but like the cartoony aspect of it doesn't. It makes it feel off, I guess.
I'm an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan,
So am
and
I.
I've even thought about doing articles for the website on like different lore and stuff because
Like
I can if I want. But
it.
I'm an
I'm
Avatar fan, and I don't know if I'm an Avatar fan and a Magic fan, and I don't know if I want that in the game yet. I'm leaving my opinions open. I have not made a final decision on what I think about Avatar and Magic. But like I'm saying, I don't know if I want something like that in Magic.
I would much rather them turn a already existing magic card into my Uncle Iroh because Uncle Iroh is the only one that I will own. I might get Appa and Momo. Iroh is the only actual character, and Appa
Skins are
and
cool,
huh?
but even I said skins for existing Magic card are cool. However, we also have a Secret Lair, which I this is Universes Beyond stuff too. Secret Lair, we also have that a problem.
SpongeBob.
I can't remember how many we had come out this year, but like We got um, The Last of Us Secret Lair coming out from PlayStation. There's a Ghost of Tsushima or Yotai Secret Lair coming out. There's an Iron Maiden Secret Lair coming out. Like having so much coming out all the time isn't a good thing, and I know for their financial wise it might be because people buy this shit up. However, over time, uh, damage can be done to a product or an IP that leaves a stain or doesn't go away. I kind of compare it to like I use a comparison to like a wrestler's body. You start out wrestling like you call Jordan a spring chicken. You're green, you're spring chicken, your body's 100%. And over years, those reps on your body, you take damage over time and it doesn't go away. And the longer you do damage to your body, when you finally retire, like you don't get that health or good fortune back for your body. And it's the same thing with the video game franchise. The Magic does the same. Like, um, it took Magic a long time to recover from what was it? I think they had an issue with like Chronicles or something. Fallen Empires. Fallen Empires was pretty bad, and they had to build their reputation back up. Fallen Empires sucked. Homelands. Everybody talks about how bad Homelands is. Um, Kamigawa originally wasn't well received. I don't particularly remember why.
You talking about Neon Dynasties?
I'm talking about the original Kamigawa. A lot of people didn't like something about it. I can't remember exactly. It will come to me at some point, and then I'll mention it.
I
Um,
remember hearing a lot of people say they didn't like the original Kamigawa because it came after a set block where everything was so overpowered, and Kamigawa kind of suffered from them trying to tone it down to where everything was very underpowered.
I know a lot of people didn't like Cold Snap. I don't particularly dislike Cold Snap, but like you go through periods of time where you do some good shit, like from Zendikar or World Wake, whichever set was first. I don't remember. All the way to Hour of Devastation or Aether Revolt, whichever set. I think Hour of Devastation was later. That entire time frame for me was really good. That's World Wake, Zendikar, Scars of Mirrodin, Mirrodin Besieged, New Phyrexia. You had Avacyn Restored. Okay, I need to pause. I guess Gate Crash was not good. Um,
Gate
Dragon's
Crash
Maze
was
and Gate
Gate Crash was
was it
fine. It's Dragon's
Dragon's Maze.
Maze.
Dragon's Maze wasn't
You
good.
always do
But
that, and I love Gate Crash, and I hate you because you always do that to Gate Crash. Gate,
the sets just they run together for me.
they were all Ravnica, so I completely get it. But like
Then
Return
we
to
have
Ravnica and Gate Crash were solid to me, but Dragon's Maze was so bad. It was so
we have
bad.
these long periods of really good standard or just Magic sets in general. You got from like the Born of the Gods during next stuff was pretty good too, and then you have like the standard era from Theros to Khans of Tarkir was cool because you could play 5 color stuff in standard because the fetch lands. You had Magic Origins, which printed one of my favorite planeswalkers of all time, Jace Vern's Prodigy. Um, Magic Origins is kind of like a core set for people that might not remember. And you had like Battle for Zendikar, Oath of Gatewatch. I like that whole story with the Gatewatch, the lore, Shadows over Innistrad. I was brewing nonstop when they like spoiled, like Shadows of Innistrad stuff come out. I really want to play this blue-white control deck with like Topplegeist and Archangel Avacyn. Just I was trying to do some funky creative shit. And like they had the lottery cards in these sets originally. Eldritch Moon was good for me. I love that. I liked Kaladesh. I know it got a lot of hate for the energy stuff, but I liked Kaladesh. I liked Aether Revolt. I liked Amonkhet. I liked Hour of Devastation. So a lot of that stuff still had stuff coming out in between. You still had the Modern Horizons. You still had now Modern Masters. Modern Masters.
Yep.
Modern Masters was popular and stuff. So like you could still have special stuff come out. But when you have like over 45 Universe Beyond sets come out a year, and granted, I know, and I'll say this right now, I know it will never happen, but like even if a Suikoden Secret Lair came out, like it still bothers me that so many of these things come out when Dragonstorm, uh, Tarkir Dragonstorm was a good Universes Beyond, not Universe. God, so many damn sets, it's fucking me up. Tarkir Dragonstorm was a good in-universe set. People loved it. Uh, Edge of Eternity is a really cool set that's setting up for some stuff, and I like the warp mechanic. It's got some cool things in there. And I found out we talked about Reality Fracture last show because we talked about the stuff that's coming out next year. Reality Fracture is someone had mentioned I seen somewhere because we didn't really know what it was. It's supposed to be like Jace trying to fix the multiverse or some shit like that. So if that is true, I'm a Jace fan. Let's see what's up with Jace and what's happening. And then like you could still have all that stuff sprinkled in. Like even if the shit sucks, like the My Little Pony stuff, there's gonna be collectors out there. A lot of people in their commander play groups, they're lenient on what they can play. I know a lot of people that allow people to play um, uncommanders or stuff like My Little Pony, whatever. You could play whatever stuff you like, and like there are secret lairs I liked. Like I liked the fairy one, Bitter Blossom, uh, Vendilion Click. I like the cool ooze one. Acidic Slime looked really cool. I've never bought a secret lair, and I probably never will. However, I'm completely fine with an appropriate amount of specialty sets or secret lairs coming out in between, but um, you don't want to put too big of a stain on your uh, own product. And I know, whereas we're thinking, about the IP of Magic the Gathering, the world, stuff like that, Hasbro and Wizards, they're thinking about the financials, and they're obviously going to do what makes them the most money. However, certain IPs, irreparable damage can hurt in the long run.
Mm-hmm. So, to me, remove sets, go back to how it was done in Ikoria and do Secret, where you just had special versions of cards in the set, and you can have your secret. Because secret layers don't really bother me. It's when they have a fully dedicated set that where it seems dumb to me. And like, if you do it the way of the Godzilla one, it forces them to get an IP that kind of fits for the time or where they're at. Like, honestly, the Ninja Turtles would have been great done back in like Kamigawa or something. I feel like, but especially Neon Dynasty Kamigawa. But I so I have a website pulled up that's got all of the different like secret layer, like alternate universe, blah blah blah, whatever, like the crossovers. I'm gonna go through them, and we're gonna say our opinion on how well they fit and like how well they were done or okay.
Okay.
We're going to start off with the first one that was done, Godzilla and Ikoria.
I think it's fine. You have particular Godzilla skins or whatever fit. Um, Even if it was just like a skin of like pre-existing like dragons or whatever the case may be, but like having the monster stuff of like uh, just in general, I think those were done all right. I'm a fan, so
Same. I think that is the best crossover we've had so far. Um, the next one, we'll go with The Walking Dead because it was just a secret layer, but it was printed as its own card when they said that they weren't going to do that and they were going to reprint them right away as original Magic cards, but it took like a year or so to get the in universe versions of them. What do you think about that?
unique cards are probably not a good idea. That you're not going to have vastly available to public. Because another thing with secret layers, when they come out, like you have to, it's just like pre-ordering like like a brand new console or any hot item. Like you got to sit and you got to try to get to this queue, sit in a queue. You might get it in your cart, and then the thing not fucking work in the first place, and then you just sat in a queue for however long and don't get it. So to have something tied to a secret layer like that, that's mechanically unique. I don't think it should have been a product at all.
Okay, all right. So I think so these are kind of out of. I think the next one was like Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? Or was it Dungeons and Dragons?
I am not sure.
All right, so we'll just go with Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this. It wasn't a standard legal set like a lot of these early Universes Beyond stuff aren't. The big, maybe it was. I don't even remember, but it was pretty big. It brought a lot of unique stuff into the game, like venture into the dungeon and all these cool characters, which were cool. Like there's Dritz Jordan card, and Bruner Battle Hammer, and all the iconic characters from Dungeon and Dragons. So in that aspect, it was kind of cool, and I think it can fit within being a specialty set like Modern Masters or Modern Horizons. But as long as it wasn't a standard set, Dungeons and Dragons fine. I know a lot of people, especially older Magic heads, didn't like it.
See, and the thing is, to me, Dungeons and Dragons is fine. Uh, Magic, Magic, and Dungeons and Dragons have shared so much similarity throughout the. Putting Dungeons and Dragons in there, I feel like is not an issue. So, but I do like the. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily like or dislike stuff like that going into standard or not going standard. I think that I probably prefer it not to be in standard just
I will
because
say,
it's meant to be like a novelty thing and
yeah,
not necessary.
they had. I will say, I got to mention this because we're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm pretty sure there was Dungeons and Dragons Commander product or something like that, and I there was a Commander F&M at the shop, and shout out to Cody Brown if he is watching this because it was one big pod, all of us playing one of these pre-con Commander decks from Dungeons and Dragons, whatever the case may be. and I was doing fairly well, and somebody irritated Cody Brown, so he helped king make me, and I ended up winning that F&M with our pre-con. So shout out to Cody Brown for that.
Yeah. Well, so we go from Dungeons and Dragons to Lord of the Rings.
Is that the next one?
Um, I don't necessarily know if that's the next one. I'm trying to go in as best of order
Because
as
I
I
know
can.
There's like Jurassic Park, Secret Lairs, and uh,
I don't think
the
Jurassic
Princess
Park came out
Bride.
till later.
Okay, so there's like the Princess Bride, Jurassic Park, and all right. So Lord of the Rings.
Uh, yeah, because I think it goes Lord of the Rings, and then I think it goes into Warhammer.
There's also Street Fighter and stuff that I thought came out earlier, but
Well, I'm trying to
so when
hit
it comes to Lord of
sets for the most part, right?
okay, gotcha. So Lord of the Rings is unique in that uh, the type of fantasy that it is can fit with magic sets. So like I didn't dislike Lord of the Rings. Um, the lottery cards, the serialized cards are kind of cool. I will be on record stating this. I think they should go back to the way they used to do serialized cards. And I know not serialized cards, lottery cards were like the expeditions and like the masterpieces, the invocations, and like I'm talking about strictly Battle for Zendikar, Oath of the Gatewatch, a Monket, whatever the other set was after a Monket, Hour of Devastation, and that stuff because I feel those were better. And serialized cards, I mean, it just shows the money hungry part. But anyways, Lord of the Rings, the fantasy world, wizards, hobbits, uh, warriors, the stuff you can experience in Lord of the Rings is similar in many ways to like Magic the Gathering. There's warriors, halflings, wizards, all that type of stuff already exists. So I feel that can fit within the universe as well. So I wasn't upset at Lord of the Rings.
Okay. So were you? So you're not upset with Lord of the Rings, were you? But you were kind of upset with Dungeons and Dragons, though.
I said I didn't really have an opinion on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say because
I think I said it was fine as long as it wasn't a standard set. Is
oh
what
yeah,
my
yeah,
current
that
opinion.
is what. So next we go into Warhammer. Warhammer is where I kind of started thinking a little too out there, but it was still in it.
Warhammer's interesting because they are commander decks, and the interesting thing about commander decks is when it comes to them, they're only legal in command. Well, there's other formats. I don't know I can't remember every format, but you're only going to see them played outside commander and legacy and vintage, and commander cards for sure. So you play in legacy. There is a what is the deck? There is I think it's Nick Fit. Nick Fit plays like
Displacer Kitten.
no. The deck Nick Fit plays Warhammer card called I think it's Chaos Defiler. Yeah. Nick Fit plays Chaos Defiler, which is a Warhammer Commander card. It's pretty much a toolbox deck you go into certain things and stuff like that. So yeah. Um it's fine. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think Warhammer really fits within the universe. It kind of reminds me of StarCraft in certain ways or whatever. I don't think StarCraft would fit in the Magic universe either. So I don't think there should have been a Warhammer crossover.
I'm fine with it existing. It just was a little too out there, but in it enough to where I wasn't gonna make a big. I didn't. Okay, what would be next? Assassin's Creed. Whenever it comes to sets, I said this isn't all in perfect.
I don't really have an opinion on Assassin's Creed, and that's only because I didn't have a lot of experience with the cards. I know they reprinted some cards in Assassin's Creed. I think Fatal Push was reprinted in there. Fatal Push is a good card. Um, but particularly cards like Enzio and stuff from the Assassin's Creed world, I don't have a lot of experience with them, so I can't give an accurate assessment. I feel some of the creature types might fit within the Magic world. I mean, we have assassins, we have humans, we have those types of people, but like the Assassin's Creed world's a lot different than Magic, so I don't know if they fit. And I'm pretty sure Assassin's Creed was standard legal too, which I feel only certain Universe Beyond sets should be standard legal. If it's not standard legal, that's fine. But I can't really give an accurate opinion because I've not really had a lot of experience with the cards.
Yeah. Okay. Um, from Assassin's Creed, we'll go to Transform. Transformers is a high no. We have
I'm not a
vehicles, but
Transformers guy. I'm not a Transformers guy, and liking. I mean, movies all right. I wasn't a big. I like Transformers is before my time. If you go back to the cartoon, really, like I don't know a lot about Transformers. Um, cool mechanic in the whatever it's called. I think it's More Than Meets the Eye, where they transform
mm-hmm.
back and forth. Like, it's not terrible. It's unique and cool. But Transformers is, as Randy Jackson from American Idol would say, that's a no for me, dog.
Yes, sir. Same. Fallout. Another one that mainly just had command. I love Fallout. I'm iffy on it.
I don't think it belongs in the Magic world, and I bought Fallout Precon because I really wanted to have a cool energy commander that I could work around. It's cool, has some unique stuff. I had never finished Fallout 4 when this came out. And before it came out, I had started playing Fallout 4 again to try to just do the main story because I've put hours into it, but I do a lot of like side shit when it comes to Fallout, Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. I'm a big discovering secrets and side quest person.
Yeah.
So I actually had the story of Fallout spoiled for me through the uh, the Fallout set, which is kind of funny. But I don't, even though I love Fallout, I don't think it belongs in the Magic world either.
All right. And my girlfriend will hate me for my take on this one, but Doctor Who, no.
I have no knowledge of Doctor Who, so you can get that up out of here. I know one of the original Christmas presents I was going to get for my girlfriend is she's a Titanic fan, and they have an RMS Titanic, I think, in the Doctor Who set. And I was trying to find a graded 10, and it's not worth a lot of money, but I couldn't find one. But Doctor Who's a big no. Get it out of here. Never even seen an episode or whatever it is, so I have no knowledge of it whatsoever.
It's a decent show. It's a pretty good show. It doesn't belong. Jurassic Park,
Um,
I give it
if
a
it
no.
fits more than Doctor Who, the skins like I know I have some Jurassic Park cards. I think I have I don't know if it's from Jurassic Park or one of the future Innistrad sets, but like I'm pretty sure I have a foil pithing needle or something from Jurassic Park, or I have some cards from Jurassic Park. They're all right, cool dinosaurs. Dinosaurs fit in the Magic World. Um, it's all right. I'm fine with it.
Okay, I'm gonna do some. We'll do one more to where we just kind of go, and then we're gonna do a few just rapid fire. Thumbs up, thumbs. So
Gotcha.
Final Fantasy,
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Okay, I'm with that. Deadpool,
Um, thumb sideways. I don't
SpongeBob,
have an opinion. Um, thumbs down.
Hatsune Miku, a fucking
Um,
VTuber or a fucking K-pop video.
thumbs down. I know there's a lot of popularity to it, but thumbs down.
Okay, what about the Marvel? Anything Marvel?
I think I'm a biased person because I don't have opinions of Marvel, so I got to go sideways.
Okay.
I
Uh,
don't think it fits in the Magic World, but sideways.
Chucky,
Thumb down.
Ghostbuster,
Thumbs down.
Monty Python.
Thumbs down.
Really? Thumbs down on the Monty Python.
Yeah, I know I've seen it before, but like I don't have a lot of memories of it, and I don't think it fits.
Really? You don't think it fits? That's one of them. I actually think the time period and everything fits very well.
I have very vague memories, so
I mean, it's just ye old like night lizards and trolls and stuff like that. Tomb Raider.
thumbs down.
Actually, I'll give it one of these just because somebody going and raiding tombs for magical seems very plausible. Okay. Street Fighter. I have a Blanco. I love.
I don't think it fits within the Magic World. However, it's a small thing, so I guess I go thumb sideways. I'm not sure.
Fortnite.
Thumbs down. I
Um,
want to go. I want to go thumbs up just because Triumph of the Hordes is a very hated Magic card because people hate losing Infect, and they have a Triumph of the Hordes Fortnite card. I'm gonna put in one of my decks, so I want to go thumbs up just for that. But that would be biased, so I gotta go thumbs
yeah.
down.
Arcane.
Thumbs down. I'm
I
not a
think
giant League of Legends fan, so
I think some of the champions can work in Magic, but I don't think. Okay, here's one. Stranger Thing.
thumbs sideways. I think that it has some unique qualities that could be used in Magic, like the Friends Forever mechanic, which is like the partner situation. Some of the abilities of the cards are kind of cool. The Stranger Thing world is Dungeon Dragons or whatever. They do Dungeon Dragons that it might fit, but I'm sideways, but leaning more towards down.
Okay. To me, I, I can't give Fallout. I don't think you can give Fallout just because Stranger Things is set in uh our modern world instead of like apocalypse. But that's just my personal thought. Um, okay, yeah, that pretty much goes to the majority that's on this list. I mean, there's some other ones, but they're more or less like continued secret layers, like the Blood Bowl stuff from like Warhammer. But
There's also like is some stuff I know wasn't listed because I have an article and I'll bring this up real quick and ask you your rapid fire opinion. I'll just name the stuff that you hadn't named. Let's see, Magic, Universe, Beyond, and this is old. This is before we knew what Marvel stuff was coming out. So let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Okay, so we went over Walking Dead, Stranger Things, Arcane, Street Fighter, Fortnite, Warhammer, Transformers, D&D, Lord of the Rings. There's Creep Show, which I don't know what Creep Show is. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, sideways.
I'm not familiar with it, so I got to go sideways. I don't have a great opinion. The Princess Bride, like I mentioned. I don't know what Princess Bride is. I know the general public probably does, but I do not know what Princess Bride is. But my
Andre
bet
the
would be
Giant's
thumbs
in
down.
it.
My bet would be thumbs down for that. And they have other stuff they've talked about, like Universe Beyond, Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I'm a little
Thumbs down.
biased just because I love the art so much, but it's a middle leaning toward. We
What do
don't
you
need to
think
be
about
bringing
all the
band.
what about all the PlayStation IP secret layers? I don't remember them all. The Last of Us, Ghost of Yotai or Tsushima, whatever it was. PlayStation's mentioned them on their Twitter the other day.
Certain IPs I kind of like, but others I don't. I seen the Kratos one, and I kind of like the boy Kratos.
But that is all for the ones that I can remember have on my list. So kicking off, so overall, last thing we'll say about the Magic thing before we go to the last topic. Um, some Universe Beyond, okay. Like there's obviously we just went through all the ones that we knew of. We like some of the stuff. Like try to go more focused on stuff that actually fits the Magic world. Not as many. Stop being greedy, hungry cunts. Um, and you won't ruin the player base. Don't put out stupid surveys like that where you cut off people. Let us take the whole fucking survey. And yeah, definitely look over the survey next time if we release it to the public, and you won't have like because this was everywhere. People were talking about this. Pros, just and Spider-Man just wasn't good. IP might be good, but Spider-Man set just wasn't good. People had their opinions of it. They spoke with their wallet and they didn't buy it. You have shops making people offering people $5 entry fees, and this pre-release kit's like $50. If that tells you anything, so
Yeah,
um, do better next time, Wizards. I don't like the Ninja Turtle basic lands. I like some of the cards. We'll see what happens because these are standard legal stuff. I will not be using the pizza lands. I know a lot of people will not. So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of the issues of Spider-Man 2 might be the difference between the digital game and the physical because you had to put out a special set for Magic Online and Arena called Through the Omen Paths. You had to go through and skin all these different cards to have different names. They could do the same thing as the Spider-Man stuff, but the abilities on the card, like web slinging, had to be named something else. There is you had like the Soul Stone, whatever the whatever that ability is, had to be named something else because in the Spider-Man set. So
yeah,
definitely need
that was a
to do
huge
better with
fumble.
future stuff like that. Yeah. Last topic: Pokemon. We're not a Magic podcast. We're not a Pokemon podcast. We are a gaming podcast. However, seems to be always something new. So Legend ZA released. I know a lot of people currently are review bombing it for some reason. I've watched a couple people play it. I know some people are enjoying it. Pokemon Legends ZA is not our topic. We also have Pokemon Champions coming out at some point. Also not the topic. The topic is Pokemon Generation 10. So, There was a leak recently. Have you heard of this leak?
Yeah, it's it's one that I heard like way back, like quite a few months ago. That was making some
This
slight stirrings, but
this leak just came out the other day.
no, I know that. I know that this leak this leak had come out already, but there was a leak about 6 months ago or so because the Pokemon Company went and they copyright play put in like a patent or copyright or whatever for what is it, waves and winds or whatever, right?
So Pokemon Generation 10, Pokemon Winds and Waves are supposedly the name for this stuff. So I'm gonna go
So
ahead and read this article real quick. A new Pokemon Gen 10 leak may have just revealed the titles, the theme, and even the region for the next mainline games. It's been a pretty quiet year for Pokemon, besides the games coming out. And when it comes to Generation 10, things must have been silent till now. Over the past year, several unverified rumors claimed the next region would be inspired by Greece or the Mediterranean, and the new mainline games could release around Pokemon's 30th anniversary in 2026. However, now a well-known leaker has just dropped what might be our first real look at Pokemon's next generation, which I will post this article real quick in the general Discord for you so you can see a couple of the images that pop up while I read it. According to new info shared today, Gen 10 isn't just coming with fresh titles in a brand new setting. The source of this leak is Central Leaks. I've heard of this guy before in the past. He's pretty consistent and sometimes accurate. According to leaked details, Pokemon Gen 10 will be called Winds and Waves, releasing in 2026. The games are reportedly directed by longtime series lead Shigeru Omari, and previously helmed Sun, Moon, Sword, Shield, Scarlet Violet. Centro claims the leak comes from Omari's internal documents in 2021, which described the original concept for Pokemon Generation 10 as being set in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. This directly contradicts early reports about the region being Greece, suggesting that early rumors fake. However, the region choice fits with Wind and Waves theme as well as the Indonesian archipelago's vast island and tropical climate naturally lend themselves to such elements. Some of the major leaked details about Pokemon Gen 10 is the theme of Gen 10 is infinity, whatever that means. The region inspired Indonesia, Southeast Asia, multiple islands, natural elements playing a big role into the game. Games are being directed by the person I just said. Below that, it shows two images of what the early graphics engine looks like. Um, the documents also reveal early details about the game's boxed legendaries referred to as the Storm Pokemon, Roll Grandfather, and Wave Pokemon, Roll Grandmother. Both reported to live on isolated islands and possess the power to guide humans and Pokemon using the wind and waves, respectively. Each only accepts humans who have properly raised the mysterious seed Pokemon. As for new battle mechanics, Gen 10 will supposedly introduce something called um, Tinko Waza, which obviously you got to think this is going to be a rough translation, which roughly translate to weather moves. And your boy is a big, I like weather elements and stuff like that in Pokemon games. So it's said to be a weather focused system, though no additional details were revealed. Central Leaks has shared even more information about Pokemon Wind and Waves, revealing that what might be the biggest peek yet at the story, characters, and mysterious new seed Pokemon mechanic. Again, none of this is confirmed, but it paints an exciting picture of where Game Freak might be headed to. The seed Pokemon appear to be a new kind of special creature in Generation 10. According to the leak, these are baby Pokemon found in resort areas, unevolved forms that are rarely seen in the wild. No one has ever seen what they evolve into, but when they travel to the island where the legendary Pokemon reside, they begin to evolve. Their evolved appearance is said to have infinite variations, take that as you will, which could tie directly into the game's main theme of infinity. The leak also outlines full cast of characters that may appear in Pokemon Wind and Waves. The player character, a 13-year-old from Big City, inspired by Kuala Lumpur, which is a country over there, begins their adventure when their mother wins a vacation trip through the lottery. They travel with her and a baby sibling who learns to walk and talk by the end of the story. Players will also meet a local friend, sounds like every other Pokemon game, the same age as protagonist who acts as a rival and is deeply connected to nature. Depending on the player's gender, this character changes slightly between versions. The potential villain group, called the Land Development Team, they are simply a group destroying nature for money. There's also the hotel chairman, 75 years old, who once wanted humans and Pokemon to live in harmony, but after losing a child in a tragic Pokemon related incident, he turned against them. His heir, 15, now helps run the operation, but is said to be naive and conflicted. Finally, the professor, nicknamed the Survival Professor, age 21, they studied the link between Pokemon and weather phenomena, connected back to the rumored new Tinkowaza, which is the weather move system, that may define the battle in this generation. Following the initial leak, shares even more information, expanding on the game's gameplay structure, procedural system, overarching design. Winds and Waves will merge the series' familiar gems and Titan Pokemon Challenge into a single progression system. Players take on a total of 18 challenges, each representing one Pokemon type, reportedly inspired by UN's substantial development goals. Completing all 18 will unlock the path to the champion battle. This leak also claims once players acquire seed traversal abilities, they can head straight to the final boss and trigger the game's credits early, though this route is said to be significantly more difficult than standard progression. One of the most intriguing additions revolves around the seed Pokemon, which players reportedly receive at the very start of the journey. Training this Pokemon to a certain level unlocks access to the main Legendary's island, a location described as procedurally generated based on the player's individual training performance. So that means when something is procedurally generated, there's like a plethora of different things that this island could be. The seed Pokemon evolution is procedurally generated and unique, featuring fractal and floral designs that differ for every player, further reinforcing the central game's theme of infinity. While the champion and legendary encounters are technically optional, the leak notes both are required to access the true ending. They also list several gameplay modes, side activities like gym adventure, weather skill acquisition quest, ride license, MMO raid battle, Pokemon rescue, boss Pokemon, Pokemon survival, and diving. And that's pretty much the extent. A lot of information there. Now, the little bit I'll say before you go is it wouldn't be the first time we've seen Pokemon legendaries based around the weather. You know, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza from Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald were weather based Pokemon. If this, the winds, the waves, the nature, if it's going to be based on any particular area, the Indonesian archipelago, all the countries over there make kind of sense. So I've been digesting this all since I seen this the other day. So what do you think about this potential leak? Like I said, it's not 100% confirmed. However, this guy's pretty accurate when it comes to these things.
Um, it sounds like they're trying to do a lot, and I think it's going to fail. Uh, Maybe that's just me being pessimistic because as of late, especially with like the Digimon, I don't want another Pokemon right now, nor do I want them to be rushing one out anytime soon. Um, the Infinity thing, the Infinite Evolution sounds like it's a ripoff of Digimon, honestly. But um I don't know if it's not in Greece. That's gonna be a big bummer as well because it sounded cool to have a Pokemon game based in Greece. But I don't know. I don't I don't the Pokemon Company and like Game Freak and stuff have become one of those companies that haven't really, how do you say, like, trust, I guess, for my games anymore. I don't I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain because I do love Pokemon. I like the collecting and evolving and that whole aspect of it, but I don't know. ZA just has taken a lot out of me because like my biggest thing when it comes to Pokemon is like their design. And to me, ZA gave us megas. Cool. ZA gave us a majority dog shit megas and no regional variants or anything. Which of all the gimmicks, regional variants are the best one. Megas, megas are cool, but I was off the mega train whenever they introduced regional variants. Now, regional variants in ZA, there's just these megas, and they
Let
had
me
to
ask
do.
you a question. Since I've played more recent Pokemon stuff than me. Um, I didn't play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Did they have a regional variant stuff in there or not, or was there anything
Yeah,
They had regional variant.
that was like the whole gimmick in there was that
Okay.
that's where all of the like Hisuian uh Pokemon came from, and it was great. I loved that for that. And also, the other thing is that I don't know why they chose to make Legend ZA like just take it back to an old place that we've already been and just make it all in one city. Like that's an awful take, and I've said that from the is that that sounds like it's going to make it boring. But then I also said, let's wait to see the Pokemon designs because that could save it for me. Well, fucking, I'm not hiding it from anybody. I think the designs for the Pokemon balls, they're awful. They did my boy Dragonite so dirty. The only one that came out looking fucking top flight is my boy Scrafty. He came out looking pretty fly, but like everybody else, man, they they grew up into adults and they sent them right back to puberty. It's so weird. Like, have you seen what Mega Pyroar looks like?
I've not seen Pyroar. I'll look it up real quick. I've seen the Mega Dragonite for sure.
Mega Dragonite's bad, but Mega Pyroar, good God, did they do my boy dirty? Like I don't know who they thought they were gonna interest with that design. Now watch I say that and you're gonna be like, I actually like it.
I'm not really seeing a bunch of different variations of Pyroar, so I don't really know what it looks like.
It looks like he's got a big top. His mane becomes like a big top hat, but it's still a mane. And see, that's the other thing is that you've probably seen it, and you just don't. You can't tell because it looks so bad.
To me, Pyroar just looks like a lion with like red and yellow fur going around its face.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's supposed to be a fire lion, but they didn't do anything to upgrade the boy at all. Here.
Maybe I'm looking at Mega. Okay, I'm looking at Mega Pyroar. I'm on Bulbapedia or Pokemon, whatever this fucking site is. The Mega Female Pyroar looks like shit. The male version, I think looks cool. I don't like the female one.
I don't even know if I've
Female
seen
one
the female one.
kind of looks like Quilava to me. I'll post this in the general, and you click on it real quick, and you tell me if I'm looking at the correct thing.
Okay.
Because I could be looking at something wrong.
No. Nope, that is not it. Give me a second and I will find it for you. But it's not good either way. It's I've only seen the male, so I don't honestly don't even know if there's a female Pyroar Mega, which you would think that they would give, but it was,
The picture you posted is it?
yeah,
I don't think that's that bad.
I think that's all. That's terrible. It's supposed to be a mega evolution? What are you on? It's awful.
It doesn't look much different than just like the Pyroar in general with like the fire main, but like the design of it holistically is not like it's not a bad design. However, if you're trying to convert to a mega evolution, which usually implies something completely different, then I could see why some people would be sour on it. I don't think the particular design of that Pokemon looks bad though.
I think the design looks bad, but it's awful because it's nowhere near close to good. That that's my rant is that if you want to play a fun Pokemon game or type game, go play Pal World or go play Digimon Stories Time Stranger.
Something to remember: these leaks also are from like I think it said a 2021 internal document. So like, there's lots of things that we could make a video game right now that comes out in 2037, and like we're gonna throw out a whole bunch of ideas that probably aren't gonna make it to like the final form of the game for whatever the case may be. Like, I'm sure originally, like Harry Potter, for example, Harry Potter Logwarts. Jesus Christ, what is wrong?
Logwarts.
Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy. I'm sure that when they set like whiteboard for Hogwarts Legacy, they started the planning phase. I guarantee on that whiteboard they had fucking Quidditch on there. No one will steer me differently, but I guarantee on that whiteboard, the pre-plan for Hogwarts Legacy had fucking Quidditch on there, and it's not in the game. It's not a bad game. It's people love Hogwarts Legacy. I actually recently bought it on sale for like $5. So I started playing that a couple weeks ago. But like these are from if the 2021 internal documents are correct, so things can change. Something I want in a Pokemon game, and like when I think of Pokemon ZA, like I convert that. I don't want to say it's not a real Pokemon game. Of when I think a real Pokemon game, same way Champions is. I don't think that's going to be a real Pokemon game. When I think real Pokemon game, I think like yellow, red, blue, gold, silver, crystal, ruby,
You're thinking of
sapphire,
mainline game.
mainline game. So like ZA for what it does with the A lot of people like the real time Pokemon battles. That's why I know a lot of people that I talk to, they like that. They don't like being stuck to one city and stuff like that. But like
That's the
the
only
real
thing
time,
positive about the game for me is the real time Pokemon battle.
I'm actually the turn based guy. I'm always going to be turn based. I never played Arceus. That's why I'd ask you that question because I didn't know if the regional variants were in there. Um, so I think stuff like ZA is fine and keeping this stuff turn based. It'll be interesting to see in the future whenever it does come out because we obviously know there's going to be another Pokemon game. Um, what games they use for like the VGC tournaments and stuff like that? Do they use Pokemon Champions, which, from our knowledge, is all supposed to be like the perfect Pokemon battler, or are they going to do Pokemon Winds and Waves when it comes out?
I
I've
would.
always been a fan of seeing what the real quick. I've always been a fan of seeing what the enemy teams do in these games. Like you had Team Rocket for a long time, then Magma and Aqua, and just seeing the story behind these teams and what they like and destroying nature can be kind of cool. So it'll be interesting to see. But go ahead.
I would venture to say that there will be two different leagues. There will be regular old VGC that is um the mainline game, and then there will be like a CGC or something that is champions. But I don't think they'll ever get rid of VGC just because like VGC helps them sell more more copies. But I I don't know. Whenever champions, I'm actually excited. But that's just because I've wanted something like that for a while. Hopefully my connection to it's better than my regular connection to uh like Scarlet and Violet because it's like every other match I get disconnected and I get a loss. Half the
I
losses I
don't get
have right now.
disconnected,
What's
and I
that?
have crap. I don't get disconnected, and I have crappy internet, but I can't find a match to at all these days. I sent. I'm pretty sure I said it in our group text message, you and Quentin, but I got a hold of the rental code for Wolfie's Parish Trap team. I wanted to do some practice with it as I plan for our next challenge post this commander game we have coming up in the near future. So just getting ideas for the challenge that I'm going to pick. And so I really wanted to try this Parish Trap team out. And I searched like 30 different times and didn't get paired to match. And I don't know if it's because it was the same weekend as like a big Pokemon tournament. So maybe I don't know. Maybe that was there's just nobody on, whatever the case may be. But I'm surprised you get disconnected because your internet's way fucking better than mine.
Oh yeah, no, I get disconnected issues all the time. And the other reason why I probably won't be picking up the not for a very long time because there isn't enough on the Switch 2 to make me buy it.
That's another thing. The only reason I think I can confidently say this now. The only reason I will buy a Switch 2, a Switch 3, or whatever the case may be in the future is the only reason I have a Switch now that I keep is for Pokemon. I used to be able to say, like, my Nintendo situation was for Fire Emblem and Pokemon because I'm a fan of the Fire Emblem series. I like turn-based strategy type shit. But I've not played a Fire Emblem game in a long time, so I
Yeah.
can confidently say my Switch is for Pokemon. I don't have Mario Kart anymore. I don't have Mario Party. When I bought my Switch, I bought my Switch at tax time. I bought uh, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, and Octopath Traveler. I play Octopath Traveler I can play that on PlayStation or Xbox. I don't play Mario Kart anymore. Like I could probably get Worlds. I'm sure it's kind of fun, but I don't play Mario Party because I don't have friends that play Mario Party anymore. And the only time I play Smash Brothers is sometime there's a Friendsgiving, like me, Riley, and a couple of the other people that don't play Magic anymore. But I go over there and Cody Brown has Smash, and sometimes we play there. But like, it's my Pokemon machine. Something I do want to say before we cut out because we're coming to the end of the show. We're going to save our comparisons for next time, so Q can get in there since it was his comparison. Um, Something I always enjoyed is egg Pokemon, and I don't know if why. I just when it comes to me, I like unique things, Magic decks, Yu-Gi-Oh decks, unique video games. I like to go off the beaten path, and I really liked baby Pokemon. It's something we've talked about for a long time. Try to get a baby Pokemon team before. Um, really, I had a baby Pokemon team one time. It was like Munchlax, Mime Junior, Smoochum, Snorunt,
But
Bonsley. Bonsley was the Sudowoodo one. I can't remember the other ones, but like it was a fun team. Like their strategy. Mime Junior was the damage dealer. Munchlax was the tank. Smoochum used like he had an ability, like she had an ability, like whatever it was like Sweet Kiss or something like that, and I couldn't be attacked by like male Pokemon or whatever the move was. Like it was a good strategy. It just wasn't strong enough to compete with the big ass Pokemon. So I'm interested if this seedling situation is true, where it's a Pokemon with a bunch of different things it could transform into based on how you train or whatever the case may be. Um, it would be in line with what they did in Sword and Shield. I think it was that they had the fossil Pokemon where you combine like two different fossils or some shit like that to make a unique Pokemon. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, the worst fossils in the history of Pokemon.
But they had that situation. So if you're going to do something like that, then it's in line with what they have done in the past. Is what I'm trying to say. So like combine two fossils, make a unique Pokemon. This seedling Pokemon based on training and whatever the case may be, infinite different forms makes sense. So I could see it potentially happening, and I'm interested to see, but I want to see what they have. The one thing I want every Pokemon game to have coming forward, I know it's not going to happen because it requires a lot of extra work. The one thing I really enjoyed, I think the last one to do it was Sun and Moon. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was the National Pokédex where it had every fucking Pokemon.
Oh, probably. It was probably
You
back
are
then.
one of the top competitive video game platforms. Video games, period. You know, obviously the fighting game, Street Fighter, Tekken, the shooting games, Pokemon VGC is one of the biggest um, tournament scenes too. And if you're going to do this, put the work in. I've seen somewhere where people were talking about the price of what it costs to make a Halo, a Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, whatever the case may be, Street Fighter, and they talk about like the Pokemon price, which was like I don't remember the exact price. It was less than 50 mil, which is fucking nuts compared to 300 some million that it costs to make certain games. So like you have the fucking leeway, make a national Pokédex, give the people that play these tournaments the options to fucking test all these Pokemon, provide variety. I want a national fucking dex. I want to be able to use any Pokemon. I don't play super competitively right now because I don't get to use the Pokemon. I want to use Shuckle. I want to use Shedinja.
Yeah.
Come on, Pokemon Company. Come on, Game Freak. Come on, Nintendo. National Dex. Every fucking Pokemon. You have Pokemon Home or whatever the extra shit is to transfer between games. Like, you have the means to do it. You've been doing it for years. Put in the extra fucking work. Let us have all of our Pokemon in these future games. But that's my overall opinion. He'll be interesting to see. So I'm looking forward to Winds and Waves because the mainline games are what I play. I'm sure I'll play Champions. I like battling, even though I'm not the super most intelligent when it comes like it takes a lot to learn. So I'm interested to see what happens in the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I think that is probably it for us. And have comparison. Anything, right?
Yeah. So everybody knows because we didn't get to do it last show. Me and Q left while it was recording, and then we're like, "Oh fuck, we didn't name a comparison for next week." So since people didn't get to hear it the last time, next show when we come back, Q came up with the comparisons for us to list the sacred weapons or items that we think each other is related to or that we would use. So that is our comparison for next show for all the people out there that pay attention to that.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I will. I gotta go to a birthday dinner for myself. Probably be editing this up and out. All right, everybody. It's been Dodgy Yeti and Chris Jones, and this has been the Thicc Boi 14. I think. I don't know,
Not
something
sure.
like that.
It's been the latest episode of the Thicc Boi Hours podcast. How about that?
It has been the latest episode of the Thicc Boi Hours podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a nice day. So you.